If you are looking for Sprinter Van business loans for fair or poor credit, here is a review I want you to pay attention to right now. The top five. Top five lenders will take care of you, not a problem. Number five, we have Essentium Capital. Our score, 8.6 over 10. One thing we love about Essentium Capital is that they actually will take care of you real quick. Like they don't ask too many questions. Okay, you just go to them, you apply, and they'll basically take care of everything. What we love about them is that they have a great customer service. So the thing is that you need to make sure that you give them a call first. Give them a call to start the conversation. Don't like they have a website where you can apply for a Sprinter Van business loan for poor or fair credit, but don't use the online form unless you have excellent credit or you have good credit. But if you have bad or fair credit, what we have seen in the last 10 years is that customers who first reach out to them they have a better chance of being approved. So you give them a call, you explain your situation, you tell them where you're calling from, you tell them you give them a lot of information about your project, what kind of Sprinter Van you want to buy, the year, your budget, okay, and they'll ask you some questions about your business, the whether you have been profitable for the last 2 years, 3 years, or whatever. It doesn't matter. And what we love here is that Essentium Capital is also good when it comes to even if you are a startup. If you are a startup, you are an owner operator, you have no authority or no authority, and you are trying to just get your foot in the door in this delivery business, either as a regular load hauler or expediter, they'll take care of you. Okay. And one thing that we need to say here is that Essentium can actually do 100% financing. So we love that a lot. Like in other words, they give you an option to they have a zero down option. So you are putting no down payment. This is just fantastic. Okay. On top of that, they'll also finance what we call the soft cost. The thing is, when you buy a Sprinter Van when you buy a Sprinter Van, you have the cost of the vehicle itself, but you also have some other costs depending on the industry you're in. Sometimes you might want to customize the vehicle and whatnot. So Essentium Capital will take care of everything there. So, by the way, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here. And so I'm still having a conversation with you about Essentium. And Essentium, when we talk about Essentium, they have a lot of things that make them very, very great as a lender. So they have flexible terms and repayment options. Okay. And they have application only up to $750,000. In other words, you have total exposure, no dealer agreement required. So think about it. I mean, you don't need $750,000 to buy a Sprinter Van, but this is also great if you want to buy a fleet of vehicles. So the options is also there. So like this show is about owner operators who just want that. You have the solopreneurs, what we call the solopreneurs, the owner operators who just want to buy one vehicle, one Sprinter Van. Or if you are in the market to buy a fleet of Sprinter Van, you can actually go to Essentium and they'll take care of you no matter your credit. Okay, this is where the $750,000 limit comes into play, and they also give you the option to actually have zero down payment. Again, this is good. You have quick credit decisions. We love that a lot. And when it comes to Essentium, they are able to do 100% financing, including taxes and titling. They do new or used Sprinter Vans up to 15 years old, titled and non-titled vehicles. So besides Sprinter Vans, they also do cars, they do trucks, they do cargo vans, they do heavy vehicles. So you can see that Essentium really does a constellation of vehicles. Okay. And the cool thing is, again, I just want to, because a lot of viewers, sometimes they ask questions about, I want to buy multiple vehicles. Can I do so? Yes, you can do so. So Essentium will take care of you whether you want to buy a single vehicle, a single Sprinter Van, or you want to buy a fleet. Okay. And so this is good. And one thing I also need to say here is that, again, please make sure that you first reach out to Essentium. You want to talk with a member of their commercial vehicle financing team, and that's what it is. And the thing is that they also want to make sure that you have your paperwork ready, because they'll ask you information about your company. They'll ask you all kinds of questions about your company, how long you have been operating, and whether you are incorporated or not. So those are really, really important. Number 4, we have here First Capital. Our score 9/10. I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We're talking about the top 5 Sprinter van business loans for poor or fair credit, fast approval, large amounts. Okay, so when you think about First Capital, you have an interesting player here. What we love about First Capital is that they have same-day loan approval. This is just fantastic. They will approve your Sprinter van loan on the same day. It's just fantastic. By the way, they finance other stuff too, though. They finance cargo vans, they finance box trucks, they finance Sprinter vans, they finance other heavier vehicles. Okay, but it's important to understand that with the First Capital, things go real fast, real fast. Like when you call them, they get back to you right away. Like they get back to you, like what our clients on average, when we reach out to them, they got back to us like within 30 minutes. Okay, so it means what? It means that you got to be ready. You got to have all information. You got to have all your paperwork ready. You need to understand, like, you know, your personal credit. You need to make sure that you have the vehicle information, the Sprinter van you're trying to buy. Be very clear. What First Capital does not like is that you basically are not really clear about the kind of Sprinter van you want to buy. Like, the clearer you are in your mind, the better it is. So that when you go to First Capital, you are clear already on what you want, and all they need to do is to help you out. They help you by financing your Sprinter van. Okay, and what we love about First Capital is that the majority of their financing programs do not require proof of income. So they understand that if you are just starting your business or you have been in business for a while, you will not have necessarily proof of income. So some of their programs will take more challenging credit. Some of their programs will also accept startups. So you do have a constellation of programs at First Capital. Okay, the bottom line is it's always important to understand that you always need to reach out first to First Capital to make sure that you start a conversation. Okay, so the number is 1-888-565-6692. 1-888-565-6692. So when we talk about First Capital, it's really important to understand what you could qualify for. Okay, and so you have. But by the way, when we talk about First Capital, remember that you can also pre-qualify. So don't just go into the whole program and trying to have your credit hard pulled. No, you can start with the soft pull first. Make sure that you actually go through the program and see what you might qualify for. Okay, so you can be pre-qualified through First Capital. So take advantage of that. Okay, so the good thing with First Capital is that they have bad credit and average credit programs. They have good credit and average credit programs. They have excellent credit programs. So if you have, let's say, if you have bad credit or average credit programs, they have the lowest down payment options. They have moderate down payment options, and they have a large down payment options. So when we talk about lowest down payment options, you can have like 2 months due at closing, 2 months payment due at closing, 1 to 2 months payment due at closing, 0 to 2 months payment due at closing. That's for low down payment option. For a moderate down payment option, they have 10% down up to 200K, no credit score, 25% down, 10,000 to 55,000K, no credit score, and they have 40%. That's for the large down payment. They have a 40 to 50% down, 50 to 400K, no credit score. So you can see here that you do have some kind of and by the way, I just need to mention that if you have a previous bankruptcy or repo in your profile, you got to go through the large down payment or the moderate down payment option. Okay, that's important. And we need to understand that, well, if you choose the no payment option, like the 0 to 2 months payment due at closing, you are only limited to $100,000 when it comes to your Sprinter van financing. Okay, and First Capital wants you to have at least minimum credit score of 600, like 590 to 600. and you got to be in business at least 2 years. So those are the conditions. Number 3, we have here Envision Capital. Our score, 9.2 over 10. So when we talk about Envision Capital, we're really talking about a good player when it comes to Sprinter Van business loans for poor or fair credit. And the cool thing is that they actually finance Sprinter Van nationwide. So that's kind of cool because, see, the thing is that some lenders for Sprinter Van business loans, they are actually geo-restricted. But that's not the case when it comes to Envision Capital. We love that a lot. So they're very flexible here. So you're speaking about up to $500,000 when it comes to financing. And so you really have an easy online application process. Okay, you can apply in minutes. You can compare options. You can be pre-qualified. And the cool thing is that Envision Capital has they actually have 24-hour approvals. So they're really fast. They're really fast in terms of their approvals. So if you need more information, you can call 949-225-1718. And the main person to speak to is Dan Lund. So again, the number is 949-225-1718. And the cool thing about Envision Capital is that they actually offer more than financing. Like they do like 100% financing plus soft costs, which are really important, which can be really significant. And you do have the ability to bundle transactions through Envision Capital. You can keep up with changes in technology, for example. You have potential accounting and tax advantages. Okay, they do offer flexible pay structures and invoice capabilities. We love that a lot. You have reduced upfront cost and preservation of capital. And what we love about Envision Capital is that you basically have financing. You have a financing program with predictable low monthly payments. So overall, we're talking about Envision Capital, a lender who will take care of you no matter what. Okay, no matter what, you'll find your luck with Envision Capital. Just make sure you've done your research first. You understand exactly what they're offering, and that you are comfortable with what they're offering. Again, I want to remind you that Envision Capital, the maximum you can qualify for, you have $500,000, $500,000. Number 2, we have Steer Financial. Our score, 9.6 over 10. So when you think about Steer Financial, I want you to think about a bigger player. I mean, with Steer, you have more chances of qualifying for a Sprinter Van business loan that you can actually you can qualify for one that has a fast approval. Okay, they don't have a lot of paperwork, not a lot. Like, they don't ask too many questions. The funny thing is, sometimes you want to get a Sprinter Van business loan or a cargo van business loan. People are asking you questions, trying to bother you, trying to confuse you. No. They don't ask too many questions. And the cool thing is that they actually offer programs that are based on business performance. Bad credit is also okay with Steer Financial. We love that a lot. And the cool thing about Steer Financial is that you can actually receive you can receive your approval within 4 hours. Like, we have seen customers who got approved within 3 hours. I mean, if you're lucky, you can get your approval within 12 hours. So this is really good. So overall, this is a great lender. And the cool thing is that Steer Financial can also take care of you when it comes to a Sprinter Van leasing. So if you're not interested in financing and you say, you know what, I want leasing, they'll take care of you also. Okay, and it's really important to understand that with Steer Financial, rates start at 3%, with terms varying anywhere from 12 to 72 months. And so your business could get an approval for a Sprinter Van loan equal up to 100% of the value of the van. Okay. So this is really good, and you can actually use the cash that you get from Steer Financial to take care of a lot of things. You can improve cash flow. You have 100% financing. We love the fact that they give you tax advantages with a transaction. They have flexibility and convenience. You can boost your business credit. So basically, a business loan from from Steer Financial is kind of cool because they will report your data to Dun and Bradstreet, to Equifax Business, and to Experience. So this is kind of cool, okay? But again, it depends on what really matters to you, whether you want to lease or finance, whatever it is. Steer Financial will take care of you, not a problem. Now let me talk to you about the process. So if you want to apply for a Sprinter Van business loan through a Steer Financial, they will actually they want to have a completed application. It's like a 1 page or 2 pages depending on your geography. They want to see the last 3 months of business bank statements. They want to see your driver's license. They want to have a voided check, and they want to have an equipment quote. In other words, they want to have the quote for the Sprinter van you want to buy. So you can see that they're not asking you for your FICO score or your whatever, or your revenue or your profit and loss statement. They're just asking you for the last 3 months of your business bank statements. And the cool thing is you can apply online. Okay, they give you the option to apply online, but again, you always want to start the conversation by calling them first. Call them first. Okay, so once you apply online, you can be approved within. We've seen approval like as fast as 1 day. Okay, and so after your application is securely submitted, what will happen here is that Steer Financial will connect you with one of their funding specialists to determine your borrowing needs. Okay, and so they will form the best equipment financing program for your Sprinter van, and that's it. Now, one thing I need to understand here, I need you to remember here is that Steer Financial can also help you with other forms of financing, or at least guide you in the right direction. Whether you need merchant cash advances, business lines of credit, or some SBA loans. Okay, they do a lot of stuff. So if you have more questions, just call them up. They are in San Diego, California, and so call them up at 858-704-2444. Again, the number is 858-704-2444. So this is really important. Steer Financial, and it is a lender who is very responsive. They're really fast at getting back to applicants. Just make sure that you have your paperwork before you reach out to them, so you know exactly what they are about, and you can reach out to them and you can start the conversation real quick. Very important. Number one, the best of the best when it comes to Sprinter Van business loans for poor fair credit high approval. We have top mark funding. Our score 9.9 over 10. I mean, Top Mark is just crazily good. They're really good. I mean, they've been a leader in this field for the last 10 years, even more. And what we love about Top Mark is not just because they are very generous. Like, they can approve you for up to $250,000 within 24 hours. Think about that. And this is application only. Okay, guaranteed, no hard inquiries, no impact on your credit. And the good thing is you can be pre-approved. This is really good, and they don't ask lots of questions. They will approve you real fast. And you want to start the conversation by calling Top Mark Funding. So you can give them a call at 866-627-6644. 866-627-6644. And you can actually finance a Sprinter van for 12 to 72 months, depending on what you want. Okay, and you can finance the van with bad credit, fair credit, not a problem. And the interest rate will really depend on your credit score, of course, but also things like your business's strengths, your credit, your industry, your equipment type, the funding type, the current market trends, etc. Okay, but this is something that you can actually discuss once you actually start the whole conversation. So at Top Mark, their process is very quick and easy. That's what we have seen. So you only apply online to kick off the conversation. You select the solution that really works for you. So a funding specialist at Top Mark will actually reach out to you to ask more questions. And so they will review your documents. So once they have determined the best sprint event solution for you and your business, so they will actually contact you. They will email you the documents for review and signature. And the cool thing is that an electronic signature is really acceptable on most documents, so that's not a problem. Don't feel like you have to sign it manually and just send it back to them. No, no, no. And you get funded. You get funded. So you do have a fast turnaround to get you the sprint event that you want, and right now. So the whole process can take like somewhere from 3 to 4 or 5 days, like 1 week maximum. But again, make sure that you have your documents ready when you reach out to Topmark Funding. All right, before we close today's conversation, let me just share with you our approach when it comes to evaluating, categorizing, and listing sprint event business loans. Check this out. Thank you so much. Let me do quickly a recap here. So here are the top 5 sprint event business loans for poor or fair credit. Number 1, we have Topmark Funding, 9.9 over 10. Number 2, we have Steer Financial, 9.6 over 10. Number 3, we have Envision Capital Group, 9.2 over 10. Number 4, we have First Capital, 9 over 10. Number 5, we have Essentium Capital, 8.6 over 10. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.